Hey guys, Andrew the Realtor here. Happy February. A little bit later than the month than I normally wanted to, but I want to get out this very important market update, especially for those of you who are thinking of doing something sometime in the near future. I'm going to give you a couple of predictions that are actually quite timely and important, and we're going to test to see how accurate were my predictions from end of last year into what's happening this year. And spoiler alert, pretty accurate. So first of all, I hope you guys have been well. It's been a little while since I've contacted some of you folks. This January and the first part of February being incredibly busy. Quick, before I start this update, a big thank you to all of my clients, especially the clients from last year, but certainly all the other ones who referred some of the clients from last year. Honestly, a humble and sincere thank you for the business, for referrals, for the questions you guys have, for the business, for the encouragement. As some of you have seen, I got one of the, not the highest, but one of the higher awards in Century 21 last year, and that was it was exciting. I'm not a big awards guy, but it does show that what I'm doing is going in the good direction, business wise, and of course service wise as well. And I'm constantly learning more and more about the markets. One reason why I've been fairly accurate with some of these things. So without further ado, home office. It's very cold outside, so hope you don't mind a bit of a background thing. Let's go right into it and see where we're at. So. Slide, no, slideshow. There we go. I'm going to minimize myself here. And here we go. Here are the numbers from January last year, last month of this year. So we'll make this fairly quick because I am trying to shorten these. I can go on for hours about the real estate market, as some of you know. So one of the biggest things, and I'll honestly say at the risk of sounding unprofessional, it's a little ridiculous out there right now. I've seen homes that I know for a fact should not be at the price they're sold for. So I'll tell you, if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to unload some investment property or just looking to sell and maybe buy a little bit later, I'll tell you something very important in just a minute. So first of all, homes sold up here, all my usual circles are very important. So how many are sold? We're down about 18%. Now, from last year, that is nothing to panic about. Main reason being it's the second highest in history. Why the second? Well, because last year was the highest. A lot of sales, a lot of activity in January, last month, a lot of activity. The craziest thing, of course, what everyone always talks about is the average price. It's ridiculous. Keep in mind, I always say average, take average with a grain of salt. A lot of properties involved when it talks about average home. But nonetheless, 28, over 28.5%. That is ridiculous. That is going to slow down. That is definitely going to slow down. It has to. The main culprit, of course, the big red circle, active listings. Even last year, the record month of January 2021 had 7,300, almost 7,400 reported active listings, meaning properties on the market that are available. As those of you who watch these regularly know, 20,000 active listings. 20,000 is a balanced market. January ended up around 4,140, so around 4,200 listings. Very low, very, very low for a January. And I might add, this month in February, it is the middle of February right now, we're sitting at about 5,800. That's incredibly low. Again, keep in mind 20,000 is the balanced market. We should be well higher. We should be around 10,000 at this point. So I'll mention, before I get to that, mention detached prices have gone up 28.3%. That is insane. But notice the difference. Notice something that has not happened in the past few months. Notice semis are up higher than detached. Notice townhouses are up higher than detached. And notice condos are up almost as high. Remember, condos were actually quite low in terms of appreciation for a while there, certainly the beginning of last year. And 2020, it was at zero for a few months. I was telling some of the investors, you guys, what a good time to buy a condo. Would have been up about 30+% at this point, by the way. So why are those going up? Common sense. Detached are getting to the point where they're unaffordable. So what happens next? They go from detached to semi, from semi to townhouse, from townhouse to condo. Well, those three lower priced ones, if you can say that about this market, have gone up in price naturally because that's what people do. I can't afford this. Here, I got to go here. So here's where all the attention goes. And eventually, folks get priced out of even the semi and townhouse market, and they go for what? The condo. So that's an important thing. Again, the active listing. So before I get to a Q&A, which is actually quite important, not to pat myself on the back, but more so to give you guys confidence in actually listening to what I'm saying here. The active listings at 5,800 now, 4,200 or so, 4,140 in January. What you guys want to look out for sellers specifically. What you want to look out for is for us to get to, my guess, about 8,500 to 9,000 active listings. We're at 5,800 right now in the middle of February. In the beginning of February, we were roughly around 51, 5,200. So what does that mean? Another 4 to 5 weeks, pushing us into end of March, beginning of April. Things are going to slow down. Slow down. By GTA standards, they're going to slow down a little bit. Slowing down in terms of appreciation. What I mean is there's going to be more inventory. By that time, we're going to get into that 8.5, 9,000 active listings, and God willing, maybe even the 10 or more. The more the better, as far as I'm concerned, because sellers are still going to win, but at least buyers have a chance. So for those who are looking to sell in a frenzied market, but that I mean you want to load and invest and just take advantage of this. Buyers will buy because they're cheap money. You're not, doing anything evil by any stretch. You have from now, middle of February, about 4 to 5 weeks. Let's say end of March ish to really get in on the frenzy because things are going to slow down in April. Now, again, is it going to be a seller's market? Absolutely. Will you be able to sell? Absolutely. What I'm saying is if you have the choice of selling this week or next week versus a month and a half from now, my guess would be estimating it would be better to do it sooner. The sooner the better. I've seen what happens. I've done some exclusives and got a lot of interest on there before we even hit MLS. So needless to say, that's what's been happening. What's going to happen this year? It's going to slow down. That's actually going to get into the Q&A. So let me get to that next. It's already at 6 minutes. Here we go. Get me out of here. So Q&A revisited from 2021 because it's an important one, and I keep getting the same question at the beginning of this year. What's going to happen to the market in 2022? All of these things that I mentioned, I think these are from December or November. All of these are actually happening. Interest rates here, it mentions interest rates 2 to 3 times this year. Yeah, they haven't gone up yet. They're going to probably go up 2 to 3 times. Not too much more because the economy probably can't handle it. But that is going to change a little bit. It's going to slow the market down a little bit, not a whole lot. What's really going to slow it down is not only that little bit of increase in interest rates, what's going to slow down is the inventory. So less overall sales, we're already there. We're about 18%, 17% lower than so far this year, lower in sales volume than last year, and that's going to continue. So last year we sold about 121,000, I think, the sales properties, 121,000 for the year. This year will probably be 100, 101, 102, somewhere in there. That's a very busy year. It's a great year. But the point is, it's not going to be the record. And that seems to be the case that is happening so far. So appreciation is going to slow down. My guess is if it's at 28% now, which is clearly not sustainable, it's going to drop down to teens, maybe down to 10 or so for the year. Still great appreciation, certainly not the market tanking or anything of that nature. And here's why. I know some people are thinking, oh, the bubble's going to burst. It's going to happen. It's going to be 2017 all over again. Well, that was a different situation. And even then, it was short-lived, was it not? You still have to double or triple the interest rates. You must. And you've got to double or triple the inventory, as is mentioned here. That's still the case. We're sitting at 5,800 right now. It's got to go up to 15, 16, 17, at least 20. Actual buyer's market, technically, we need to be at 22 to 23,000 active listings. So if you follow me so far with all these numbers, let me show you a couple of things that will maybe give you some insight as to why I think, and many people think, in fact, a lot of high-end lenders have programs thinking in line with this. Why are the prices going to go down? There's no way for them to do so. The market has to change drastically. Here are a couple of reasons why it's very important to consider buying now versus later, thinking to time the market when it goes down, bubble bursts, etc. Look at these amazing numbers. I'm going to minimize myself here. I'm just not that important. Canada has set an even higher bar as it will look to welcome 451,000 new immigrants by 2024. Those are the numbers. Those are how many permanent residents are coming. That's just immigration. Please understand, due to COVID, things have been nuts in the market, but immigration has stagnated for obvious reasons. People can get in the country. It depends on what country they're from. Maybe they're banned for a certain amount of time, and now they can come. There's all kinds of issues. But these are the numbers that we're looking at. So that is an addition. Now, what percentage of those people are going to go to the GTA? Half, at least, probably. Anywhere from 40 to 60%, my guess. Last time I checked, it was around 60%. Here's the thing. One of my good mortgage brokers, I've got a small group, as you guys know. One of them had a conversation with an immigration specialist just a little while ago. So forgive me, I'm taking a little bit long. If you're still with me, you're going to get some great info. What they said is the people that are dealing with, the immigrants that are applying to come here to Canada, are quite often, most of the ones this person's it's a gentleman that he's been speaking to, has been that these are people with money, education, and people that will be able to buy something in terms of real estate probably even in the GTA. So at least a condo, maybe a house or a townhouse or something. The point being, that's an extra buyer added to the buyer pool, to the demand pool, and where all our issues lie on what? The supply side. So that's just the permanent residence. Here's another little ditty I found. Over 530,000 international students at all levels in 2020. International students. Now, obviously, not all of those are going to become permanent residents. However, there have been from 10 to 2010 to 2020, have been increased to 135% in international students. Over 60% of these students plan to become permanent residents. So say half, forget 60%. Let's say half of 530,000. That's what? 265? Plus the hundreds of thousands of permanent residents that are planning to come in immigration, and we do need immigrants, so that is a thing. But the point is, we need more supply. So the solution to all these things is, of course, supply. And I'm coming back to my Q&A revisited here. But the solution is the supply. What's going to happen in the next year or two? I'm thinking the market's going to continue as it is now, except slower. It's going to be a slower pace as more and more people get the bright idea of, listen, I got to put something else on the market. As inventory increases, buyers have a better chance to buy, which means people who are selling and buying first are going to have a chance to buy. A higher chance to buy means they're more likely to go out and look for a home. They're more likely to also put their house on the market when they do find one. So that's more houses on the market. Inventory is going to increase. It won't be a buyer's market. It won't even be a balanced market. It'll be a seller's market, but less so certainly than last year and less so than it is right now. That's the plan. If you absolutely have to sell, you want to get maximum money, you got about 4 to 5 weeks to do it, and then it might slow down a little bit. If you're a buyer, I would have everything ready, as I usually do with my folks. Hurry up and wait. Get everything done in first place, and then be prepared to enter a fairly volatile market. Not volatile, wrong word, hostile market for buyers. But if you know what you're doing, as my clients do, they have the information in terms of what things have been sold for, they know what kind of offers to make, and they have a much higher chance of getting it. As time goes on, that market's going to get more and more buyer friendly. So that's the plan for this year. So far, I've been right. I thank you for your time. If I've done this a little bit too long, I apologize. You can always skip forward depending on the information. I wish you guys a fantastic February, and certainly we'll see you in the month of March. Do take care of yourselves, guys.